What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So everybody's been hungry for Legion Go 2 information, and really the past few days there have been a ton of leaks coming out, and I covered some of them in last Friday's handheld news video, and there's been a few more things come out, and there's some more articles and stuff like that. This is Tuesday, September 2nd at the time I'm making this video. We're only 3 days away from the actual official reveal, from what we understand, coming from Lenovo. So we should actually have all of this information straight from them soon enough. But since some more stuff is kind of landing here, I figure why not take a look at it? So this is going to be another video cards article here, talking a little bit more about a couple of more leaks here when it comes to Legion Go 2. So let's take a look. All right, Lenovo Legion 2 confirmed Ryzen Z2 and Z2 Extreme options, 1200p OLED display, and 32 gigabytes of LPDDR5X 8000 memory. So that would be kind of falling in line with what we've talked about before. There's been a lot of rumors about a Z2 and a Z2 Extreme, and keeping in mind that a Z2, just the regular Z2 and the Z2 stack of APUs from AMD, is a Z1 Extreme, basically renamed, a 780M and all of that. All right, Lenovo Legion Go 2 last minute specs leak. So there's been some more information coming out. And again, I've had a lot of information here as well. And Evan Blass continues to reveal details about the Lenovo Legion Go 2 before the company makes its official announcement, which again is supposed to be on Friday, September 5th at IFA 2025. Lenovo has been quiet about this launch to the point where many waiting for the Ryzen Z2 handhelds are considering alternatives. However, in just a few days at IFA 2025, Lenovo will formally introduce the new handheld, which is no longer a prototype. Historically, the company does not release products immediately after unveiling them at events, and it usually takes weeks for them to reach the market. At the very least, we should expect full specifications and pricing information. I expect to have all the information, and I would assume sometime in September we'll probably be able to pre-order, with these coming out in probably October. It seems like everybody's really been shooting for an October release. Maybe they'd be later than that, but I really don't think so. Three main changes stand out. In our last report, there was debate about whether the prototype featured an OLED display with 1080p resolution. The new slides confirm the screen is 1200p, which they did kind of confirm back in January during their live streams and stuff too, when they got to talk to some of the guys there. But yeah, drop down from that 1600p panel, which I think most people would welcome. There's very little games, at least myself, that I would play that could take advantage of a 1600p panel, and I don't really do anything but gaming on these handhelds, so didn't really benefit me, and if anything, hurt the device overall. So having a 1200p landscape display, OLED or otherwise, is definitely an improvement in my opinion. And of course, we have these new kind of pictures that have been leaking out as well, showing everything here. Very similar idea to what we had with our original Legion Go, VRR, 144 Hertz, display HDR, True Black 1000. I'll be very interested to see that because it's very hard to pull off decent HDR. I'm not really pleased with it on the Switch 2 in handheld, or some other monitors and devices and things that try to do it. They're just not bright enough or good enough to do it. So we'll see how that does. 500 in brightness, 10-point touch enabled, 1610, 1200p, native landscape, which is something we've been wanting. So yeah, this all looks very good, and we should have all of this actual information coming to us on Friday. But yeah, a Z2, which is essentially a Z1 Extreme, and a Z2 Extreme being the next step up. So I could definitely see that being a possibility. The slides also confirm that the handheld supports up to 32 gigabytes of LPDDR5X memory, rated at 8,000 megatransfers per second. This is faster than the Legion Go S and the first generation Legion Go, which shipped with 7,500 MTS memory. The use of up to suggests that lower end models will be offered, which may explain Lenovo's support strategy or product strategy. If they have a Z2, which again is essentially a Z1 Extreme, it would probably fall in line with the 7,500. It wouldn't have to, but I could definitely see that being the case there, or maybe 24 instead of 32 gigs. Maybe something like that there with that. And then the Z2 Extreme would have the 8,000 and the full 32. Just an assumption that that could be something that they would be doing. Two Ryzen Z2 slides were shown, one labeled Extreme and the other not. This suggests Lenovo may launch two versions of the console, one with the standard Z2 and another with the Z2 Extreme. This will give buyers a choice between premium features such as an OLED display, faster memory, and larger battery, or a more affordable configuration with a lower tier APU. It mirrors ASUS's approach with the ROG Ally, which also comes in Z2A and Z2 Extreme variants. Yes, but there's a big difference between that Z2A and a Z2 when it comes to what they're offering. So it would still be pretty expensive. I would imagine this would still be the same exact looking device, but one would be a Z2 and one would be a Z2 Extreme. The Z2 being like a Z1 Extreme, probably in that $900 to $1,000 range, with the Z2 Extreme being closer to that $1,100 to $1,200 range. But That would just be my guess. We'll certainly know soon enough. Lenovo has also repositioned the audio jack and micro SD slot to the bottom of the device. The micro SD slot is confirmed to support cards up to 2 terabytes. And I always welcome that anyway. There were always some concerns about heat and stuff near the exhaust, and I prefer when they put the SD card reader a little farther away from all that. But so, yeah, decent design change there for the audio jack and SD card reader. It'll be interesting to find out if we actually do get these two SKUs, the Z2 and Z2 Extreme. There were prototypes for both. Again, the Z2 would be essentially your Z1 Extreme, but in this newer device, maybe a bump up in the amount of RAM and that type of thing. And then the Z2 Extreme is what people are really going to be more interested, I think, getting the full next generation of performance, which isn't that big of an increase, but it's going to be enough that if you're going to invest the money, you're probably going to want to go that way. But anyways, that's pretty much going to do it. That's what we're looking at there. Just some more information coming out. We might have 2 SKUs. We'll have to see if that actually works out. They did originally say they were going to do something like that with the refresh of the Z2 and Z2 Extreme. So we'll see if that actually winds up being the case or not when they make their announcement on Friday, and what actual configurations as far as the RAM and all of that's going to be here, and along with the pricing, because all of these handhelds are so much more expensive than they were when they came out in 2022, 2023, and all that. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. As always, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.